Soy Mr. K35 y prepárense por una entrevista muy especial, la primera entrevista que lo hacemos por la noche con una vista preciosa aquí en Miami. Pero antes de comenzar con nuestro invitado, que no solamente un invitado, un amigo mío, un emprendedor, que vamos a conocer la historia de él, quiero agradecer a nuestros patrocinadores, a I Am Design, que siempre hace esto posible, una compañía muy profesional, lo que tiene con marketing y soluciones, lo que tiene con podcast y hacer cosas de video. Entonces le aprecio mucho a la familia de I Am Design, a Urgent Credit Solutions y también a Mr. Business 305 por siempre permitirme estar aquí, y la nueva marca que ya pronto viene, Unsupervised. Entonces siéntense como dijiste, tómense su cafecito, pero no se vayan porque ahorita vamos a empezar nuestro podcast con mi invitado, bueno, yo lo conozco como George Alejandro, pero quizás muchos lo conocen como George Alejandro.
There you go.
So G, thank you for making it here, Papa. This is such an amazing interview.
Thank you so much for having me here, man.
We're going to have a lot of great conversations tonight. I think this is very sexy because we decided to do this for the first time at night, right? So everybody can see the view.
Love this. No, I love this environment. This is great.
En una de las cositas que uno conoce, yo sé que hemos entrevistado a G. Alejandro o a George Alejandro. Lo conocimos como artista, ¿verdad? Es una persona que tiene excelente música, una persona que tengo tanto respeto. Pero como dijimos en el último podcast, que queríamos conocerlo a él también como emprendedor. Es una persona que está haciendo un movimiento muy especial aquí en Miami, que siempre le agradezco por las cosas que está haciendo por nuestra comunidad. Y como ven en su gorro, como decimos los puertorriqueños, ¿verdad? Es Margem, que es uno de los co-founders de Margem, ¿verdad? También con su gran socio y también su novia Sissi, socia Sissi. Y a un día también la vamos a entrevistar, la tenemos que entrevistar a ella también, porque ella es la jefa. Sí. Porque yo sé que mi esposa dice, yo soy el jefe de la familia, pero ella es the neck, right? So she's the boss.
I like to say I'm the shadow.
Absolutely.
Me gusta decirle que yo soy la sombrita de ella, pero no, sí, tenemos un tremendo equipo. Thank you so much, Jose, for obviously bringing me here, man. I really appreciate that, for obviously letting me kind of share my story. This guy, you have excellent style, man. It makes, unfortunately, I'm not dressed.
No, but don't say that. Right, why are you wearing that shirt?
Why, man? Because you caught me off guard. Well, because obviously yesterday, Colombia, man, had an amazing win. La Selección Colombia, the football, man. That's my sport, man. That's my dream sport. I grew up playing that sport, sure. And I'm a huge fan of the Colombian soccer, man. And they did an amazing win for the World Cup qualifiers. Awesome. They played one of the best teams. You already know Brazil, right? That's a huge, sure. Huge thing for the Colombia Patria. So yeah, I was just try to rep, for today. Today's Friday too, try to keep it chill, but my man's always doing it good.
Y felicidades a nuestra gente colombiana representando siempre con gran orgullo, y algo especial que le tengo respeto a Alejandro, porque como yo comencé, es un amigo mío y ha hecho cosas muy especiales. Ayer tuvimos un evento súper sexy, porque estamos en San Florida, vamos a esa palabra. Tiene unos eventos increíbles, pero siempre representando a su país. Y quiero que la gente sepa, y algo que no pudimos compartir en el último podcast, es cómo comenzó toda esta historia, cómo llegaste aquí, quién es George Alejandro. Di tu historia, porque muchas personas quieren saber cómo tú, porque va a haber jóvenes, va a haber personas que quizás han estado en las posiciones que tú has estado y quieren llegar donde tú estás ahorita, ¿verdad? Entonces, ¿quién es George Alejandro?
Well, very simple. I'm a young man, 41 years old, right? That's young.
Absolutely, right? Absolutely.
That's 31 today. That's 31 today. Born and raised in Providence, Rhode Island, small little state here in the United States, and with Colombian parents, right? So I'm very cultured by the Colombian, culture. I was raised by my grandmother. My mother and my father would, be working, super hard to obviously provide for me and my younger brother, and gave us a good life, man. So pretty much that's my story, man. I had a great younghood, right? My family's great. I have a lot of cousins. I have beautiful aunts, uncles, and yeah, my mother decided to pack her bags and leave with my brother and me, and she took a 24-hour drive out here to Florida to try to do a new life, right? Absolutely. And she was very young at that age. I was 11, my brother was 9, and I went to middle school here, did a little bit of high school, and then my father came back to the picture, and he wanted me to kind of, go back and live with him up north, and And it was tough, man. There was just a lot of transitions. I did a lot of like ping pong, if you want to call it, right? Like tennis with Florida and Rhode Island throughout my younghood because of personal situations, right? I wanted to have a chance to kind of live with my father, have that relationship with my father in my teen years. So I decided to leave my mom, unfortunately, here, and I moved to Rhode Island to finish high school, to start working out there with my dad, and yeah, he also had a construction company his whole life, right? And then he opened up a restaurant lounge out there in Rhode Island. At the young age of 23, I helped him kind of build the establishment, right? But just like anything, I'm pretty sure people can relate. I dealt with personal situations, right? So I met my son's mom, right? So things got a little bit, out of control there because obviously her and her family didn't appreciate me like having that lifestyle, right? Because that lifestyle was very hectic with me trying to create a relationship with my son's mom and do the whole family thing, and that to me was tough. But what I did learn was business at a young age.
Entrepreneurship.
Right? Entrepreneurship, man, at a very young age, man, and I was very kind of like how would I say this, like gravitated towards it.
Sure.
Right? And that's something that I really, really appreciated. So, I mean, I just grew up just, doing business, selling cars, selling phones. So I did the sales pretty much my whole life. And then I decided to move back to Miami at the age of 30, 2012. Again, I actually separated from my son's mom. We still have an amazing relationship for our son, and I just decided to come back, be here with my mom, my grandmother, and kind of provide and help them out here because obviously they were getting a lot older. And when I came out here, I started selling cars again, but I realized, Jose, that wasn't really for me, right? So it's just like I didn't want to go back to working for the man because I knew that my potential was greater than that, right? Like I just started expanding my mind, and I got involved in real estate. Because my mom had a real estate.
So that was the beginning of the real estate side.
That was the beginning of the real estate side.
But I think, and I'm sorry to interrupt you,
I'm trying to throw everything.
Your adversities created a personality that looked at it, because coming from your father's side and the experiences that you had created a personality that you wanted to do something amazing, which is the entrepreneurship side. Yeah. And one thing that congratulates you is on the real estate side. So tell me a little bit more about that real estate side.
Okay, so the way that story happened was my mother's English is not very good looking. Right, but she's amazing. She's a hustler. She's the type of lady that you go to the supermarket and she'll grab a complete stranger in the line and just start having a conversation. Absolutely. So I don't know if I got that same trait from her. I know my father's an amazing businessman as well too, and so she had her license. Right, so she was doing a transaction at one point where I had no idea. I had no real estate knowledge at all, but I did know business. Right, so I did know how to pretty much connect the dots. Right. So she had an opportunity where she had a client who only spoke English, and he was selling a vacant lot up in Orlando. My mother had the buyer. So for her to try to do this transaction, there was like, a language barrier.
You helped out.
So I jumped in there.
Nice.
And I, just pretty much facilitated the deal. And when I'm looking at the type of commission that my mom was making, I was like, okay, I gotta tap into this. Right. Like this is something that I need to really kind of focus on and see how I can expand and help my mom grow her business, and at the same time grow me as well too as a real estate entrepreneur, right? And I took off from there. I studied real estate. I took the course, but I never got the license because I went the route of investing. Okay. So that's when I just started, picking up properties, building relationships with contractors.
So you're investing properties, you're doing some amazing things, and now you went from having an incredible story, you went through some challenges, but that created character. That's what I was looking for.
Yes.
And it's amazing, but there's a lot of young people out there that go through tough times. I think we all do, and we have to look at a negative to a positive, and you made it possible that. Algo que quiero explicar para mis oyentes españoles. Estamos hablando de una persona que es joven, 41 años solamente, una persona que ha pasado por una historia, pero tomó lo negativo a un positivo, tuvo experiencia en negocios, decidió entonces al final estar aquí en Miami y empezó a estar en el mundo de reactos, ¿verdad? El mundo de real estate. está todo cerca de su licencia, pero una de las cositas interesantes es cómo él convirtió a ser una persona que es un entrepreneur. Y algo que quiero hablar con ustedes, ¿verdad? Es los jóvenes, o no importa su edad, que están entrando con una idea, ¿verdad? O ha pasado problemas y muchas veces nosotros enfocamos en lo negativo y no queremos progresar. Entonces, algo que hizo Alejandro, y eso es lo que yo hablo con muchos de mis clientes, porque algunos clientes dicen, tengo mal crédito, no puedo hacer fondo, no puedo hacer financiamiento, la vida está imposible, viniendo de otro país, no entiendo el inglés, y sea una posibilidad de poder hacer los sueños una realidad, y tú lo hiciste. Y algo que quiero, porque tenemos solamente unos minutitos, y bueno, el tiempo pasa, porque algo increíble que tú has hecho, porque esto es una persona que también tiene un arte, que es un artista, tiene música, pero no solamente con la música, quiso asegurar su futuro con negocios, y tú y Sissi empezaron una marca que se llama Margem World, right? Margem.
Yeah, Margem.
I really want to talk about that, right, also too. I want to talk about a lot of things, because uno de nosotros, yo tengo el privilegio, yo, mi esposa y nuestro equipo, y también nuestra compañía, hemos sido patrocinadores, nuestros amigos de IM Design también se han invitado en todos nuestros eventos, hicieron algo increíble para Miami, que pusiste muchos vendedores juntos, ¿verdad? En un evento. ¿Cómo empezó Margem World?
Bueno, eso es una historia un poquito, it's a funny story, right? Because that, which is funny, but it's still amazing, right? Because it's genuine. My girl and I, we decided one day we were in the balcony in our apartment, and we were thinking about creating a company where we could do charter events.
Right, you were mentioning that earlier. Yeah,
correct. So we wanted to build relationships with boats and try to do events in charters. She had a really good idea to try to make it all like women, right? So women service, women captain, woman like DJ.
I think that was meant for guys.
Yeah, so it was
Sounds
like
like
for guys, for like entrepreneurs, men that were pretty much entrepreneurs and all get together. So it was just it was a pretty good concept,
Sure.
right? And when we just started making these calls to these charters, right, these boat owners, we figured and we found out that pretty much there was a stipulation with the amount of people that we could let in
the boat.
These type of boats and the type of crowd that we know that we could bring. So I just pretty much kind of deviated a little bit from it. And I just told her, look, we're going to become a service company, right? Because she's amazing online. Like she is pretty much, she doesn't like me mentioning. She's an influencer, right? She doesn't like me mentioning that. But she really is. She knows how to handle social media. She knows about marketing. She's amazing in front of the camera, better than I am. But so that's what we did. We created a service like it's marketing, branding services. We help out with social media. We do audio visual. We do events like corporate events, like the ones that you sponsor and you support since day one. You know, stuff like that. And we just want to help out the community. We want to help out the next entrepreneur, the next business owner to utilize these platforms to pretty much expand, right? Because we're not saying that we're no better than anybody, right? We're also in growth mode as well,
sure.
Too, right? And we just want to pretty much rub shoulders with these type of entrepreneurs, with these business owners that are successful, that believe in us, just like you, that believe in us. And these are the people that we want to build with. So that's what we decided to do. We create, and
you've done amazing, by the way.
We created a Margem World because it's a world. And the name came from it because it's a mixture of two languages, Spanish and English, right? Gem being a diamond, mar being, you know, the ocean.
Yeah.
So we connected it together, Margem, and that's
and I will tell you something, and I will tell you, Alejandro or G, like I call you because we're friends, we're boys. Yes. And that to me is, I want to tell you, I mentioned before, to me the most important thing is your friendship. So I want to say thank you for that friendship, because that's the most amazing thing that I feel as an honor to call you my friend. But you have put, estos señores han puesto en un tiempo muy corto personas que son personas que tienen mucha influencia aquí en Miami, personas de negocio, personas que quieren crecer y quieren ayudar a otras personas a crecer. Porque los eventos de él, también lo que hay es personas que quieren ser emprendedores, quieren estar motivados y quieren conocer las personas que van a sus eventos, que pueden ayudar, porque algo de Miami es estas ciudades en cuanto a relaciones, ¿verdad? Hay muchas ciudades con diferentes relaciones, diferentes maneras en cómo hacer negocios, pero Miami es relaciones, y algo que me encanta en Miami es la cultura. Tenemos venezolanos, colombianos, puertorriqueños, cubanos, haitianos, de lo que sea.
Yo digo que Miami es Latinoamérica.
Absolutely, y tú has hecho un increíble trabajo, y lo que más me fascina, y por eso te quise invitar hoy, es la historia que tú tienes por tantas cosas que ha pasado desde tu comienzo de ser niño, de tu talento de música, de tus intenciones, de lo que aprendiste con tus padres,
Sí.
llegando aquí en Miami. Señores, hay algo que yo siempre he querido, es la ley de atracción. Y lo que significa es que si tú lo piensas, la realidad puede ser, ¿verdad? If it becomes, your perception can become a reality. So whatever you're thinking about, whatever you want to create, it doesn't matter your past, it doesn't matter your story. We all have situations in our life, and this man here has done amazing work, not only in his entrepreneurship side, but I wanted to say something very important. Y esto es la realidad, porque mi esposa está ya sentada y ella te puede crear, ella está Sissi, que la saludamos. Pero una de las cositas que le quiero decir a ustedes es, yo he hecho negocios por esta razón. Yo he conocido gente en sus eventos, y si usted está aquí en Miami, en la ciudad de Florida, usted tiene que ver o tiene que ir a los eventos de Margem. Si usted es un emprendedor, a mí no me importa qué usted hace, a mí no me importa si usted tiene una compañía de limpiar casa, si tiene una compañía de realto, si es un inversionista, si es lo que sea, ¿ok? Tiene que ir a tu evento, porque ahí es donde están los emprendedores grandes, en los eventos de Margem. Porque algo que mi abuelito me dijo una vez, y nunca me olvido, y yo sé que es una frase que muchos latinos lo han escuchado, dime con quién andas y diré quién eres, ¿verdad? Entonces, en los eventos, yo he hecho relaciones muy especiales que te quiero agradecer por esas relaciones, porque si no ir a esos eventos, quizá no tengas esas relaciones, ¿verdad? Y la iniciativa de tomar ese riesgo, porque no es fácil esos eventos, y hacerlo de una manera tan profesional es increíble. Pero algo que yo estaba mencionando a Alejandro en mi oficina hace un ratito, que I gravitate to stories. I gravitate to people's stories. Forget about the resume, forget about everything else, it's the story that was important. Y cuando yo conocí a esta persona del día número 1, hay algo que dije, Alejandro, hemos formado puros, he tenido muchas conversaciones, hemos jugado dominos juntos. Es la historia que tú has hecho, porque es la historia de muchos latinos que están llegando a esta ciudad, ¿verdad?
No, and I know I summarized a lot of my story because we can create un montón de episodios. Yo le estaba diciendo a él que yo puedo prácticamente escribir un libro de lo que es mi trayectoria, but at the same time, it's just like I don't really like to talk about the tragic portions of my life.
But the tragic
it's
creates
of course. But I'm all about, and if anybody out there, viewers or listeners that, can relate to a certain situation like mine, just understand that it's all about not giving up, right? It's just to have a forward mentality, and these obstacles that come to you are for a reason, right? I'm a strong believer that God doesn't put, obstacles to individuals that He doesn't believe can
handle it. Absolutely.
And that's always been my mentality, and I'm all about growth. I'm all about sponging, towards like people that I admire, right? Like yourself, right? So that's why,
to you.
And I appreciate that. But again, as you say, we're always learning every day, man. And I'm all about growth, and I'm very excited about what I got going on with my multiple little streams of income with Margem, with my company 1212.
Sure.
That obviously we haven't got to talk about. The lending side, business funding that obviously we're gonna partner up with as well too. So there's a lot of great things that are happening right now. I'm excited that I'm able to kind of connect these dots right now in the fourth quarter, the ending of 2023, because I feel like 2024 is gonna be sky's the limit, man. So I'm excited.
Una de las cositas que le quiero decir a muchos latinos, a las personas que nos están escuchando es, si tú limpias piso, sea el mejor limpiador de piso. Si tú eres una persona que haces cualquier cosa, haces mejor lo que haces, pero lo haga con orgullo y con integridad. Pero nunca dejes tus sueños, ¿ok? Porque toda la posibilidad. Tú sabes lo que es el significado de un héroe, lo que la otra persona no quiere hacer, ¿ok? Muchas veces uno tiene que trabajar. Hay una creencia que yo hice en un video, en mi reel, dice, la persona emprendedora no trabaja de 9 a 5. Trabaja hasta cuando el trabajo termine, porque ahí es donde uno va a crecer como emprendedor. Uno de los mensajes que quiero que ustedes sepan es esto. Sabemos muchas historias, como la historia de George Alejandro, con muchas historias. Sigan soñando, porque por eso nuestro podcast siempre se llama Soñando con Mr. Creativo 5. Tiene que tomar el siguiente paso. Pero antes de terminar, porque yo sé, when you're having fun, time flies, right? ¿Cómo se pueden comunicar con Margem? ¿Cómo pueden seguirte a ti? ¿Cómo pueden conocerte a ti también, con tu equipo, para hacer negocios? Quizás conocerte como un coach, quién sabe, quizás alguien quiera hablar para una motivación. Y ustedes hacen Margem una vez por mes, ¿verdad? ¿Cuánto es el primer jueves o el segundo jueves?
Bueno, son todos los terceros jueves de
Tercero,
cada mes.
okay.
Vamos a empezar a hacer nuevas estructuras right now, empezando el 2024, where we're going to be doing a lot of other events, right? So we're going to be doing some other sexy events, partnering up with other collaborators as well. So
We're going to pause here. See this right here?
Oh, yes.
Margem
Yes.
World.
Margem World, yes, you can find
Is that
us.
the Instagram?
That's the Instagram.
That's the Instagram.
Margem World, right? So that's what it is. The phone number, I believe, is 786-824-3460. I believe that's the name, but we'll check that. We'll
Y
put
los
that
que me
somewhere.
están siguiendo saben que siempre estoy posteando los eventos. Si ustedes quieren participar, ver esos reels, ver esos stories y quieren participar, para ir es gratis. No pierdan. Aquí vamos a poner siempre el link para conocerlos a él y que vayan a sus eventos. No tienen que nada que perder. Obviamente van a tener un buen tiempo, van a tener una margarita, van a escuchar música, van a conocer muchas personas. Aquí los latinos siempre somos unas personas familiares, por eso muchos preguntan, ¿por qué te llamas Mr. Criterio 5? Yo no nací en Miami, pero le tengo tanto aprecio a esta ciudad, por eso reconocí ese nombre, para dar agradecimiento a las oportunidades que esta ciudad me ha dado.
Está la ciudad
Es
de
con
la
Mr. Criterio 5. Y mira, señores, esta noche, el primer podcast que hacemos por la noche, nuestra preciosa ciudad. Tengo tanto honor de estar en esta ciudad, estamos tan bendecidos. Si usted está aquí en Estados Unidos, dándole gracias a Dios que estamos en este país, hay tantas oportunidades. No es fácil, no piensa que hay un botón mágico. Muchas personas que están en otro país piensan, ay, llegas al aeropuerto y ya eres millonario. Tienes que trabajar duro y este lo ha hecho con Margem World, con su compañía. Y todo lo que ha pasado ha creado a George Alejandro. Le debemos agradecer a Dios por cada paso que tú has hecho, porque si no fuera todo lo que has pasado, no estuvieras en esta silla. Y dándole tantas oportunidades a tantas personas como yo a conocer emprendedores. Y quiero agradecerte de veras de parte de mi equipo, de mi corazón, por todo lo que tú haces, la diferencia que tú haces en la comunidad. Siempre digo, lo que tú haces, construyen comunidades y haces sueños realidades. Entonces te agradezco, G.
Es que de eso se trata. You know, it's about being abundant, right? Abundance is key, and I'm all about giving, man. Because the more you give, obviously, you know, it just rains on you. That's just my belief, man. So that's what we're about.
You couldn't have the most beautiful note. Señores, el tiempo pasó. Quiero agradecer a George Alejandro, mi amigo. Vemos que una persona que bien ocupado se apreció con nosotros en este podcast. La meta de hoy es que sigan soñando, pero no pares en soñar, porque soñar sin tomar el paso es solamente un sueño. Toma ese paso, toma esa acción, tengan un coach, conozcan a George Alejandro, comuníquense con él, vayan a los eventos. Si usted es en Miami y no vas al evento de Margem, estás pidiendo algo increíble, ¿verdad? Porque tú estás, como dice uno de mis coaches, tú estás una persona fuera que te va a cambiar la vida. Y quizás sea esa persona que van a conocer en Margem. Gracias por estar conmigo esta noche. Quiero agradecer a todos mis patrocinadores por permitirme estar aquí. Otra vez, quiero decir, sigan soñando. Hasta la próxima semana. La espera Mr. Credit 5, soñando con Mr. Credit 305.